We talk about the new iPhones. 4 new models. We've got the iPhone 16 and Pro Max. Let's start with the Pro series because they're the most interesting, to be honest. And the big upgrades this year include a bigger screen for both of them. We've gone from a 6.1 to a 6.3 on the Pro and from a 6.7 to a 6.9 inch on the Pro Max, making it the biggest screen ever on an iPhone. And also, to make it a little bit less huge, this is the 15 Pro Max, they have actually shrunk the bezels quite significantly. It's kind of amazing how small this border is around the screen. So you're getting a bigger screen in a similar form factor. It comes in 4 titanium colors. We've got black, white, natural, and the new color of the day, desert. An even tougher screen with their latest ceramic shield. We have a larger battery, and they're saying the Pro Max will have the best battery life ever on an iPhone, which I'm very excited to test. Also, not only is the battery bigger, but we also now have Qi 2 wireless charging. So with a compatible either Qi or MagSafe wireless charger, you can top it up quicker. No change to wired charging though, unfortunately. The chip, of course, we have the A18 Pro, that's kind of hard to say, which is about 15% faster for the processor and about 20% faster for the graphics versus last year. And then of course, these iPhone 16s have been built with Apple Intelligence in mind. Although don't forget, just because they're all singing and dancing about AI, Apple Intelligence, that the 15 Pro and Pro Max from last year will also support it. And without making this video 20 minutes long, Apple Intelligence broadly brings you a supercharged Siri, which isn't saying much because it's pretty useless at the moment, but you know, a much improved Siri. We also have new writing tools that can, well, rewrite or summarize. We've got new image creation with Genmoji. We've got Image Playground, which will be a dedicated app and also integrated into messages, improved search, and also a clean up tool, which is essentially magic eraser that you get on your Pixel. And from the couple of demos I saw here, it did seem to work quite well. Priorities and summarization of notifications. The other issue with Apple Intelligence is that it's not out yet. It's going to come later in the year, probably with iOS 18.2, but to start only with US English. And I think you'll be able to get it elsewhere if you switch the language. But as well as having the new faster chip, they've also improved the cooling. Thank the Lord, because my iPhone 15 Pro Max gets pretty hot, and actually one of the issues, despite the speed of the A17 Pro that we have in here, and no doubt the A18 Pro, is sustained performance. It throttles, it overheats, particularly when you're doing lots of 4K 60 filming or more likely playing games or rendering, editing. And so actually with the entire new 16 series, we have this new graphite cooling architecture design something inside, which actually Apple say should improve sustained performance by 30% on the regular iPhone 16s and about 25% on the Pro models. I'm very excited to test that out, and hopefully also when I'm charging, it won't get as hot as well. In terms of the camera, we have a slightly upgraded main 48 megapixel fusion camera. Not much has changed here, although we do have a brand new 48 megapixel ultra wide, which of course doubles as the macro. And I am kind of excited about the new ultra wide because I do tend to use it quite a bit for filming. What hasn't changed in terms of the hardware is the telephoto. It's still the 12 megapixel 5x zoom. Unlike the 15 series, there isn't any difference there. It's the same 5x zoom regardless of which Pro you go for. So from a hardware perspective, not a ton has changed with the camera. There's no mention of a selfie front camera at all. In fact, just the main new ultra-wide lens and the fact that the 5X is on both. But of course, a lot of it comes down to the processing, and we do have a new ISP, a new image signal processor on the A18 chip. Bit of a mouthful, but we're going to have to wait and see what kind of difference that actually makes in real life. But there are some other new features, including the ability to now shoot at 4K 120, and you can actually slow this down in the Photos app afterwards, so you can go down to 1/5, 1/4, 1/2 speed. To be fair, I don't know how many people will actually use this, but for people like myself, creators, I can shoot 4K 120 ProRes log via an external SSD. That's pretty cool. There are also new audio mixing tools, new framing guidelines, which actually could be very helpful for getting the right framing for your social posts. And you can also now capture spatial audio. I suppose this says something about how big of an upgrade this phone is, but one of the headline new features is the new capture button. And this is on all iPhone 16s, not just the Pros. Click to open the camera app, click again to take a picture, or click and hold for video. And actually this is capacitive, it's not a physical press button. But because we have some vibrating haptic feedback, it actually feels pretty good. You can slide your finger along it to zoom in, change the aperture, go through different photography modes. And you can also do a lighter press, which either removes the UI for a cleaner interface, press lightly twice for more controls, and then slide over to select. Lots of different options, and this has been designed to be used both vertically and horizontally. But now we have 5 buttons on the new iPhone 16. 2 volume, the action, the power, the capture button. That's a lot of buttons. They've also improved the speakers, although among the crowds here at Apple Park, I couldn't really test that for myself. I almost missed. All new iPhone 16s support Wi-Fi 7. Hooray! And it goes without saying they all have USB-C and Dynamic Island now. So let me rattle off the main upgrades. Bigger screens, thinner bezels, the camera control button, slightly tougher glass, bigger battery, faster charging, faster wireless charging, the new chip which is faster, and also the improved cooling with the graphite stuff, slightly improved camera with the new ultra-wide, 4K 120 video, improved speakers. I don't know if there's anything there that will make me rush out and buy one. The big upgrade for me on the 15s was the USB-C port. And also this still gets Apple Intelligence as well. I don't know how much of an exciting upgrade this is, particularly over last year, but then of course, not many people are upgrading year on year. And if you're still on iPhone 12 or 13, then you know, the 16s are gonna be a huge upgrade. You know what, I actually think I might change my mind. I think maybe the regular iPhone 16s are the bigger upgrade. We've got the 6.1 inch 16 and the 6.7 inch plus, still aluminium rather than titanium. And it comes in ultramarine, teal, pink, white, and black. And I kind of like that teal. So design-wise, aside from the new colors and this vertical layout of the camera, which we actually had a couple of years ago, the regular 16s also now get an action button, which of course is the customizable button replacing the mute toggle, which you can now assign to, well, anything you want, although probably not the camera because we do also get that new capture button, exactly the same as the Pro. We get a brighter and also dimmer screen. It now goes from 1 nit up to 2000. We also have a new chip. It's the A18, although not the more powerful Pro version, which is actually a 2-generation jump from the A16 we had last year. And Apple say it will be between 30 and 40% faster for the processor and graphics, obviously significantly more for the NPU because it's all built around Apple Intelligence. But like the Pros, we also have that new graphite cooling thing and also a bigger battery, although again, they didn't specify the exact size, but they said it'll be a big boost. Do you know what hasn't changed? The refresh rate. Still 60 hertz, I don't know. For a, how much is it? $799 phone in 2024/2025. What I'm less annoyed about though is the camera, because actually it seems to be quite a big upgrade. We have a new 48 megapixel fusion camera, very similar to what we have on the Pro series, although smaller sensors, and we also don't get the 4K 120 filming, but higher megapixels, and now we get a 24 megapixel output. It's using pixel binning, and because of the new high resolution, they can use a 12 megapixel crop of that to give us effectively a lossless 2x telephoto zoom. So between the new ultra wide 0.5, 0.6 times, 1 times main, 2 times telephoto, and of course you can, that's me playing with the shutter button, the camera button, you can zoom in and out between that range. So that's not bad at all for the regular iPhones. Again, we'll have to do some comparisons when I get them back in the studio. So the 16 will cost you $799 for 128 gigs. The 16 Plus will cost you $899 for the bigger screen, bigger battery, still 128 storage, $999 for the Pro, which also comes with 128 gigs of storage. Kind of hope they'd have upgraded that to 256. If you want 256 out the gate, then you have to get the Pro Max, which will cost you $1199, so $200 more than the Pro, and you can go obviously higher than that. So no change to pricing, I believe, although that can change based on different territories. So that's just a quick first look at the new iPhone series. Let me know what you make of them in the comments below. I will have my full reviews as soon as humanly possible, but now I'm gonna have to go and fly home for about 11 hours. But yeah. Them back in the studio. So the 16 will cost you $799 for 128 gigs. The 16 Plus will cost you $899 for the bigger screen, bigger battery, still 128 storage, $999 for the Pro, which also comes with 128 gigs of storage. Kind of hope they'd have upgraded that to 256. If you want 256 out the gate, then you have to get the Pro Max, which will cost you $1199, so $200 more than the Pro, and you can go obviously higher than that. So no change to pricing, I believe, although that can change based on different territories. So that's just a quick first look at the new iPhone series. Let me know what you make of them in the comments below. I will have my full reviews as soon as humanly possible, but now I'm gonna have to go and fly home for about 11 hours. But yeah.